Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Calvary Christian School, where tonight we've got a fantastic GIAA matchup between the number 2 ranked Brookstone Cougars taking on the number 3 ranked Calvary Lady Knights on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week, brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, the Houston Clinic, Kinetic Credit Union, and Coca-Cola. And welcome to the action, live from Calvary Christian. Richard Holdridge on the call. Glad to be here. They put 5 more minutes on the clock, so what we're going to do is we're going to step aside for a little bit as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Back after this.
Are you looking for a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC truck and a great deal? Check them out side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
And welcome back to Calvary Christian. It's the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week between the visiting Brookstone Cougars and the Calvary Knights. Brookstone comes in with a 14-4 record. They're currently 1-0 in region play. Calvary comes in with a 14-1 record, 1-1 in region play. Calvary's only loss was here at home to Pacelli. Brookstone has lost to Pacelli in a tournament. It was not a region game. They lost to the 5A school, Woodward Academy. They lost to Northside in 3 sets, and they lost to Stars Mill. So they have 4 losses. Calvary has 1. We're looking at the visiting Brookstone Lady Cougars stats. The junior, Carson Galligan, with 4.2 kills per set. followed by Priscilla Fega with 2.2 kills per set, and the senior Virginia Hollinsworth, 1.2 kills per set. The libero, Ann Sluter, leads the team with 2.5 digs per set. For the home team, the Calvary Lady Knights, leading kills per set is Abigail Steffens with 3.1 kills per set, followed by Abigail Holder with 2.1 kills per set. And then Aiden Steffens has got 1.6 kills per set. Madeline Gaps, the libero, with 3 digs per set. We are about a minute away from the start of this volleyball match. Remember, you got to play 3 sets, go to 25, got to win by 2. It is fast-paced, high-flying action, and as expected, we've got a pretty big crowd here at the Steve Smithwick Court on the campus of Calvary Christian. It's Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We're going to step aside, and we're going to take another commercial break as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Welcome back to Calvary Christian, Steve Smithwick Court. It's the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week. They just added 3 more minutes on the clock as Calvary getting their warm-ups now, taking on the Brookstone Cougars, coming in with a 14-4 record. Calvary 14-1. Here's a look at some of the matches that Calvary's had in the last couple of weeks. They were able to defeat Shaw 3-0 last Thursday. Of course, their only loss of the season was right here on the 26th of August. Lost to Puccelli, the defending GIAA champions, in 3 sets. They have defeated teams like Scholars Guild Academy, Creekside Christian Academy, Konos Academy, and Stratford Academy. That was all in a tournament. They have defeated Shaw twice. They've defeated First Presbyterian Day, Mary Persons, and Mount DeSales Academy. And of course, the other region win was here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live against Strong Rock. That was on the 19th of August. Brookstone, fresh off a grueling victory over Strong Rock. Strong Rock actually was leading most of the way in that 3rd set, and Brookstone came all the way back to win the match 25-23 in that third set to take the game. They dominated that first set. That second set, it was back and forth, and Brookstone ended up putting it away, led by the play of the Alex Quiddy All-State Good Hands player of the game, Priscilla Fega, and Carson Galligan. Brookstone's the runners-up in the GIAA last year. Lost to Pacelli at the Heritage School in Noonan. They have a different location for the volleyball championships in the GIAA. It's going to be at Shorter University, October the 10th and the 11th. The semifinals and the finals will be at Shorter University, October 10th and the 11th. And these two teams tonight has got a great shot at making it to the championship. Two very talented teams, and we dropped our volleyball rankings on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show last night. Brookstone was number 2, Calvary was number 3. Of course, Pacelli was number 1 as they have the night off. It's a rare Thursday night with no high school football in this area, but we will have 6. That's right, 6 high school football games tomorrow night on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, including right back here, 7:30, Calvary Christian taking on Tatnall Square. Brookstone hosting First Presbyterian Day. Pacelli hosting Stone Mountain. And we also have Glenwood hosting B.B. Comer. Harris County hosting Doherty, and Russell County, their home opener, hosting Wetumpka. Part of a triple header tonight. Mike Frost is over at the Rock. It's about a mile away from where we are. Stars Mill and Northside Softball. And then at 7 o'clock, we've got Glenwood and Lee Scott Academy over at Glenwood in the lower gymnasium. Looks like we're about to get ready to play some volleyball. As we got to our right, Steve Smithwick, who's the flag judge over in the corner. And he was the flag judge in the JV game. And a big shout out to the PA announcer, Coach Jonathan Gordon. Calvary wearing their white jerseys with the black shorts and the green numbers. Brookstone wearing the blue jerseys with the black shorts and the white numbers.
Welcome to today's day between the Brookstone Cougars and the Lady Knights.
And we're gonna let the PA announcer do his thing. We're gonna step aside as we'll have a prayer and national anthem here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing both teams, families, and spectators to make it out of Calvary Christian safety today. We pray that we have a match-free victory, and that both teams compete with you in mind. We thank you for the opportunity to participate, as well as enjoy athletics, as we pray for safety, as all families return home tonight. In your name we pray, amen. Please sing and remove all hats for the national anthem.
All right, it is time to play some volleyball here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But PA announcer Jonathan Gordon's going to announce the starting lineups for both teams. So we'll go ahead and step aside and allow him to announce the starters.
And now, for your Lady Knights, number 3, Emma Cash. Number 4, Olivia Latimer. Number 7, Elsie Kite. Number 8, Aiden Sessions. Number 10, Michaela Webb. Number 11, Josie Blake. Number 13, Madeline Depp. Number 18, Avery Mott. Number 21, Athens Burleson. Number 23, Olivia Smith. Number 25, Taylor Wynn. Number 27, Abigail Holden. And number 28, Abigail Shepard. Give it up for your Lady Knights. Stay ball.
All right, we're getting ready. About to take on Brookstone, the Calvary Lady Knights, 14-1 on the season, 1-1 in region play. Taking on Brookstone, 14-4 on the season. And they are 1-0 in region play. Brookstone led by their coach, Coach Lee Halverson. Calvary led by their first-year coach, Kendra Hinthorn. We're about to start this volleyball matchup here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Let's get into it, folks. It's number 2 Brookstone, number 3 Calvary. Live from Steve Smithwick Court. Got the student section from Calvary to my right. Got the Brookstone fans to my left. See a couple of students. But this is a rivalry that is a little underrated. With Calvary being in their second year in the GIAA, they've always been rivals, but now it counts in region play. You see the libero for Calvary, Madeline Gap. She's wearing the black jersey. And Sluter wearing the white jersey. Both wear number 13. Both lead the team in digs per set. The libero is pretty much the captain on the court. They play in the middle. They're pretty much everywhere. And getting ready to serve is Evangeline Gutierrez. We're ready to go. Here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, we're underway. Nice job there by Gaps. That's going to be a point for Brookstone as Josie Blake was trying to get that one. Gutierrez is going to continue with the serve. The bump by Gaps. Smithwick. Oh, and what a shot. That was a spike, a big spike for Abigail Steffens. 1-1 is your score. And Calvary is going to set, or going to serve, and it is the libero, Madeline Gaps. And an ace for Gaps. Calvary's only loss was last week to Pacelli right here at Steve Smithwick Court. They got an opportunity to avenge that loss. Another good block. Bump by Gaps. Smithwick sets. Steffens. Ooh, that was very close to being on the line. I'm talking about inches. But Brookstone does get the point. And that's what we expected, a back-and-forth game. Some incredible rallies. These two teams are very similar. Calvary's a young team. They only have one senior, Aiden Steffens. Brookstone has got about 4 or 5 seniors, but their top players are juniors. Fega. There's the bump by Blake. How about that one by Abigail Holder? They call her Abby Holder. I'm going to end up calling her that. So it's 3-2 Calvary. And Abigail Steffens on to serve. It goes out of bounds. As expected, we knew that these two teams would go back and forth. Two talented teams. On to serve for Brookstone is Whitney Whitehead, one of the seniors. The bump, Steffens. Holder, oh, what a dig by Chain. Getting it over, oh, what a block by Holder. Abigail Holder just jumped up and rejected that. Calvary leading 4-3. This is the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, the Houston Clinic, and Coca-Cola. And Aiden Steffens, the senior, on to serve. Trying to get a position here. Yep, she got the whistle. Now she's ready to go. That's going to be an ace for Aiden Steffens. Chain was trying to get it, but a little too far out of her reach. Calvary has just got to keep this going. This Brookstone team, as we saw against Strong Rock, they do not quit. Oh, and an ace by Aiden Steffens. 3 straight points for Calvary. Brookstone was down like 17-4 in that third set against Straw Rock, and they came all the way back. It's incredible. Sluter. Carson Galligan, and we knew that she was going to have a big slam. Did not call her name yet, but Carson Galligan, we called her on the broadcast the closer. And that's exactly what she did against Strong Rock on Tuesday. Virginia Hollingsworth, another senior for Brookstone, on to serve. And Hollingsworth has got an ace. It is 6-5, Calvary on top. Hollingsworth. Bump. Holder. That's on the line. That's a point for Calvary. Judge had a look at that one. Another kill for Abigail Holder. Abby Holder. And Abby is going to be on to serve. Georgia Alabama Sports Live, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Part of a triple header tonight. And an ace for Holder. As Sluter, the libero, could not handle it. It's 8-5 Calvary. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Lee Scott Glenwood. Right now, Northside playing Stars Mill in softball. Gutierrez. McPherson. Holder with a bump. Trying to get that one over was Loudermilk. It's going to be a point for Brookstone. It's now 8-6, and now on to serve for the Lady Cougars is Carson Galligan. Putting up monster numbers like she did last year, and another ace for Brookstone. Carson Galligan cuts the lead to 1. You got a sense that this is just a big game for both teams. They know how important it is to get a region win, to position themselves. Galligan, the bump by Steffen. Smithwick gets it over the net. The set by Loudermilk. Steffens. Coming up with it is Kite. Fernandez. Are they calling that net interference? Yes, they do. That's net interference on Brookstone. Smithwick got the call. They altered the net a little bit that allowed the ball to take a backspin and go out of bounds. Olivia Smithwick now on to serve. Calvary with a 9-7 lead here in the first set. Gutierrez, McPherson slams it. Good save there by Steffens. Gaps with it, Fernandez. Oh, look at Fega. Priscilla Fega with a point. Just a little touch, didn't have to slam it. And now the libero coming up for Brookstone and Sluter. Smithwick. Steffens. Oh, what a dig. Good job there by Hargrove. Good block. Steffens on the block. Hargrove with a bump. Fernandez. Gaps. Inbounds. Point Brookstone. We are all tied up at 9. Sluter going to continue on serving. Good bump there by Wynn. Steffens. The bump by Sluter. Gutierrez. Fega. Smithwick. Steffens. Good bump by Priscilla Fega. Got to block it. Loudermilk gets it. That's over to the back line. Good job there by Madeline Gaps to hit it over her head. Gutierrez. Oh, what a block. That will be a point for Calvary. Athens Burleson with a big block. And Calvary retakes the lead. So far in this first set, neither team pulling away. You got a sense that it's going to be like this all game. Josie Blake to serve, and that will be a point. Calvary now leads 11-9. And Josie Blake, who is a junior, continues to serve. Good job there by Hargrove. Sluter gets it over Blake with a bump. Smithwick. How about Abigail Steffens? Slamming it down. And it's 12-9. We talked about Abigail Steffens on the pregame. Just a heavy hitter for Calvary. And that will be a point going over to Brookstone. Yeah, Abigail Steffens averaging 3.1 kills per set. Now Gutierrez on to serve. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick. Getting that one over is Burleson. That's out of bounds. Too hard for Virginia Hollinsworth. 13-10 Calvary. And now on to serve is the libero. And that will be Madeline Gaps. Nice bump there by Sluter. Good save by Gaps. And that's Aiden Steffens. That was deflected off Brookstone. That's going to be a point for Calvary. It's 14-10. Back to serve is Madeline Gaps. And Madeline Gaps with an ace. Timeout on the floor. Calvary leading 15-10 here in the first set. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Welcome back to the action, live from Steve Smithwick Court on the campus of Calvary. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. Calvary leads Brookstone 15-10. We got Madeline Gaps with another ace. That's back-to-back aces for Madeline Gaps. Largest lead of the game for Calvary. Bump. Getting it over is Hollingsworth. Smithwick, Steffens could not get it over the net, and Brookstone ends the hot streak of Calvary. They get the point, and they also get the serve. And now Priscilla Fega on to serve for Brookstone. The set by Steffens. Abby Holder could not get it over the net. Brookstone back-to-back points as they try to come back here in the first set. And that's going to be another point for Brookstone, an ace for Priscilla Fega. And a bump there by Blake. Smithwick. Another point for Brookstone. That's 4 straight points. Calvary's just got to find a way to regroup. They were leading 16-10. They now lead 16-14. Fega's going to go to the other side of the court. Bump by Blake. Steffens. Got to get it over. Another point for Brookstone. That's 5 straight points, and they now trail by 1. And Calvary's going to call a timeout. We're here in the first set. Calvary leads Brookstone 16-15 as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back here to Calvary. Brookstone serving. Priscilla Fega is on to serve. The bump there by Blake. There's Abby Holder, and Calvary needed that one. That breaks a streak of 5 straight points by Brookstone. Calvary's on top by 2. A big slam by Abby Holder. And now Abigail Steffens. On to serve for Calvary. Bump by Fega. A little tip, and that's going to be net interference. Brookstone will get the point. They will get the serve back. Got McPherson checking into the game for Ann Sluter. And now on to serve is Whitney Whitehead, another senior for Coach Halverson and the Brookstone Lady Cougars. Whitehead serves it right into the net. Calvary gets a break. They'll get the point. And now Aiden Steffens on to serve. Talked to Coach Brunson earlier today. We're going to have the Calvary Coaches Show. It's going to air tomorrow. Get ready for Tatnall Square. Nice block there by Abby Holder. What a block. Carson Galligan was trying to get it over, but Abby Holder jumped up and rejected that one. Let's see if Calvary could try to close this one out in the first set. Aiden Steffens getting ready to serve. And Aiden Steffens with an ace. And Calvary's, their largest lead was 6. It's back to 4. Steffens to serve. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Carson Galligan. What a dig there by Madeline Gaps. Up. Loudermilk. Fega keeps it alive. Holder. Smithwick. We got a point for Brookstone. Might have been an illegal hit. Not sure what the call is, but the net master made the call, and they gives the serve back to Brookstone. And Virginia Hollingsworth is going to be on to serve. There's a line drive coming in, and that's going to be an ace for Virginia Hollingsworth. Both teams going back and forth. Hollingsworth right into the net. But this Brookstone team, they know what it takes to come back in games. We saw that on Tuesday. Abby Holder on to serve. Oh, what a dig there by Sluter. Carson Galligan. Carson Galligan with the kill. That's why she is one of the top volleyball players in the Chattahoochee Valley. That was a great slam on that to get the point. It's 21-19. Carson Galligan on to serve. Steffens with a bump. Athens Burleson gets it over. Oh, what a save there by Sluter. It's still in play. Smithwick saving it. Gutierrez. Sluter gets it over. The bump by Wynn. Smithwick. Steffens too far. And Brookstone's fans come alive as they get the point. They trail by 1. We got a timeout on the floor. Calvary leads 21-20 here in the first set as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
And we are back. Carson Galligan on to serve. Calvary leads 21-20. Line drive coming in. There's the bump there by Wynn, and that will be a point for Brookstone, and we are tied. We talked about that fast serve by Carson Gallagher. It comes in like 90 miles an hour. Calvary's just got to be ready for it. That line drive and Gaps saves it. What a block. Athens Burleson gives Calvary a point. She had a defender right at the net, but she slammed it to make the deflection. And now Olivia Smithwick on to serve. Calvary leading 22-21. Got to play to 25, got to win by 2. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez. Fega. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick. Steffens with the kill. Abigail Steffens gives Calvary the 23-21 lead. And that's why she leads the team with 3.1 kills per set. Incredible. Incredible stats for the junior. Smithwick on to serve. Oh, a good play there by Brookstone to keep it in play, but just some miscommunication. That they would have hit that. But Calvary has got set point. 1 point away from winning the first set. Smithwick could close it out here in set number 1. Gallagher with a bump. Gutierrez. Fega. Oh, what a shot there by Priscilla Fega. There's no quit in this Brookstone team. It doesn't matter how down they are. They find a way, and now we got the libero, Ann Sluter. Got her work cut out here in the first set, but yeah, she gets an ace. Brookstone now trails 24-23. They know they get this point. We're going to have to play to 26. Sluter. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick. Steffens. Good recovery there by Sluter. Fega with a block. It was deflected. Point Calvary. They take set number 1. The Calvary Christian Knights win set number 1 in an epic battle, 25-23. We'll be back for set number 2 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
For the big,
I'm always
small.
on the go.
the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Welcome back here to Calvary Christian School on the site, Steve Smithwick Court. Calvary ended up taking set number 1 over Brookstone 25-23. So we get ready for set number 2 on the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week, presented to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, the Houston Clinic, and Dr. Jack Houston Hospital, Kinetic Credit Union, and our fine folks at Coca-Cola. That's the only beverage I drink. All right, we're about a minute away from set number 2. As an epic battle, Calvary led as many as 6. Brookstone cut it to 1. In fact, they ended up tying it. And there was a play where it could have gone either way. Brookstone could have got the point, and then we could have been still playing. But Calvary ended up getting the point, and they were able to get that set when it was evenly matched. It could have went back and forth. But they know how important that not only a region game is, but to try to be in second place behind Pacelli. Right now, Pacelli has beaten both teams. Pacelli has not beaten Brookstone in region play, though. They beat him in a tournament. But that is the goal, to try to upend the defending GIAA volleyball champions. And we are ready for set number 2. Here we go. And the corner judges end up switching sides. Got the student section to my right. Getting ready to play some volleyball. Don't forget, we've got 6 fantastic football games tomorrow night, starting with high school game day. We'll be back here, 7:30 kickoff. Calvary Christian taking on Tatnall Square. Also, Pacelli's got a home game against Stone Mountain. Brookstone's got a home game against FPD. Harris County against Doherty. Glenwood against Comer. And Russell County, their home debut, taking on Wetumpka. Surprisingly, no Muskogee County games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live tomorrow. Most of the teams are either on the road or on a bye. The only Muskogee County game in the area is Jordan and Terrell County. And oddly enough, no Thursday night games tonight. We got a triple header here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We got Stars Mill Northside softball, Glenwood Lee Scott volleyball. That should be underway at Glenwood. Madeline Gaps on to serve here in the second set. Priscilla Fega block. Oh, good recovery there by Fega. And that, I don't know if Calvary touched it. What's the call? Point Calvary. Calvary did not touch it. It was last touched by Brookstone. And the libero, Madeline Gaps, continues to serve. Oh, and there's a slam down by Abby Holder. When it's that close to the net, all you got to do is jump up and slam it down. It's a nice start for Calvary so far. 2-0. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez, Carson Galligan, and that's hard to stop. That's Carson Galligan just slamming it as she has done her entire volleyball career, and slamming it from the back line. That is hard to do, but Carson Galligan's able to do it. There's a bump. Smithwick. Steffens. Was that deflected? No, that's a point for Brookstone. Just a little too hard. And Evangeline Gutierrez on to serve. And that hits the net. As expected, I think that this second set is going to go down to the wire. Calvary won the first set 25-23. Steffens on to serve. A nice low line drive. Gutierrez, Fega. Fega with the slam and the point going to Brookstone. We're tied at 3. Priscilla Fega, second on the team in kills per set. She's on to serve. Smithwick. And just, that's going to be net interference. The net got a little altered on that one. Calvary will get the point. cannot wait until these two teams play at Brookstone. This has been an epic battle. Aiden Steffens, the own senior here for Calvary. Gutierrez. Carson Galligan. I tell you, when that's coming at you 100 miles an hour, that is hard to stop. Carson Galligan already with 2 kills in this set. And Brookstone's only got 4 points. On to serve is Virginia Hollingsworth. Steffens with a bump. Smithwick getting it over and hits the net. Still in play, Galligan. The bump by Wynn. Steffens. Vega, got to get it. They can't get to it. And Calvary comes up with the point. Georgia Alabama Sports Live, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are your premier live streaming company for the Chattahoochee Valley. We live stream 15 schools. That was a good save there. Sluter gets it over. What a dig there by Holder. And a dig by Smithwick. Athens Burleson was trying to get her over the net, and Brookstone was able to get the point. It is 5-5. And on to serve is Whitney Whitehead. Line drive, their bump there by Steffens. Get it over his Loudermilk. Calvary with a point. I just got the sense that this game is going to be like a 25-23 game. I would not be shocked if it was 26-24, 27-25. That's how close these two teams are. Olivia Smithwick on to serve. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez sets. Galligan. That's another kill this set for Carson Galligan. And she is going to head to the back line to serve. That line drive coming in, and an ace for Galligan. Brookstone takes the lead. Remember, they played 3 sets in the GIAA. We could end up playing 5 sets. But Brookstone does not want to go down 0-2. Galligan, nice save there, but Brookstone does get the point. You kind of got a sense that the momentum is shifting back to Brookstone. Galligan. The bump by Gaps. Smithwick. Steffens. Steffens with the kill. A well-needed point by Calvary. By Abigail Steffens. Charlotte Hargrove checking back into the game for Brookstone. And now on to serve is going to be Josie Blake. Calvary with a 7-6 lead here in the second set. And Josie Blake with an ace. Correction, 8-8. It's now 8-8. I was looking at the scoreboard and thought that was a 6. Blake on to serve. The bump. And McPherson and a block by Athens Burleson. It's net interference, Brookstone's point. You can see Carson Galligan on the bench. Definitely needs a breather. Sluter. Smithwick. Steffens. And trying to get it was Hargrove. Dove for it, but Calvary gets the point. And now Madeline Gaps on to serve. She is the libero. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez, Vega, blocked there by Steffens, and Calvary gets the point. And they retake the lead. Calvary already up 1-0 in this volleyball match. Here comes Madeline Gaps. And Brookstone, wise decision, just letting it go. They get the point and they get the serve. And now Evangeline Gutierrez, the freshman, on to serve. Steffens with a bump. Abigail Steffens, good job there by Gutierrez on the dig. Vega with a block. Gaps, Smithwick, Steffens, another block, got to get to it. Point Calvary. Sometimes it just takes a funny deflection. Here comes Abigail Steffens on to serve with Calvary leading 11-10 here in the second set. And they just let it go. And it's now 11-11. And Carson Galligan checks back into the game. Vega on to serve. The bump by Blake. And that just slipped. Just bad timing. Brookstone was able to get the point. How does Brookstone respond down one set? This is the runner-up from the GIAA state championships last year to Pacelli. Smithwick. Holder. That's another point for Brookstone. They got a 2-point lead. It's now 13-11. And Priscilla Vega is going to go to the opposite side of the court. Gaps, Steffens, got to get it over. Smithwick does. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez sets. Carson Galligan. That is out of bounds. And that one thing about having a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, Calvary's just going to let that one go. They get the point. They now trail by 1. Now Aiden Steffens to serve. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Carson Galligan. Gaps. Hit the net. Point Brookstone. It was like a pop-up that could have went either way. And Calvary chose not to play it, but it was just a bad angle anyway, just because you try playing it off the net, it might hit the net or go underneath the net. Brookstone back to a 2-point lead. Virginia Hollinsworth on to serve. And Virginia Hollinsworth, oh, what a save there by Calvary. Ended up getting the dig, but Carson Galligan, that's her 3rd kill this set. That is just going to be padding the stats for Carson Galligan. Hollinsworth on to serve. Nice dig. Abby Holder hits the net. Point Brookstone. Brookstone now leads 16-12. What a job by the Brookstone Cougars responding here in this second set. And Hollinsworth hits the net, and Calvary gets the point. Now, how does Calvary respond after Brookstone going on a little bit of a run there? Abby Holder on to serve. Sluter with a bump. Oh, nice job by Gutierrez getting it over. Smithwick, Loudermilk. Net interference, Brookstone's point. And they now have a 4-point lead. I think this is the largest lead of the match for Brookstone. As Whitney Whitehead on to serve. Line drive coming in fast and win. Loudermilk, nice dig. Good save there by Gutierrez. Carson Galligan, Gaps with it. Steffens Sluter, what a rally here. Smithwick gets it over. And Calvary gets the point. A good job by Smithwick. It was just misplayed because that back line was too far out. Smithwick was able to get it out of the reach of that front line. And Smithwick going to be on to serve with her team trailing here in the second set, 17-14. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez sets. McPherson. Oh, that is a textbook slam by Brookstone. It's now 18-14. Carson Galligan on to serve. Galligan. Bump by Gaps. Smithwick with a bump. Steffens. Sluter saves it. Fega. Deflected. Smithwick. Steffens. Oh, what a block. Smithwick gets it over. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Fega slams it too high and too far. Point Calvary. Sometimes you just got to let that one go. You could tell the student section knew that was out. Coach Halverson is going to let Carson Galligan have a little bit of a breather. He's taken several key players out to conserve some energy. Because I got a feeling this is going to go 5 sets. Gutierrez. Fega. Blocked. Trying to go for the dig was Smithwick. But that will be a point to Brookstone. It's now 19-15. Sluter on to serve. Steffens. Smithwick gets it over. The bump by Hargrove. Fega slams it, and Fega gives Brookstone the points. Timeout here in the second set. Brookstone trying to even up here in this battle between two GIAA heavyweights as you're watching the Master Wall Game of the Week, the Calvary Game of the Week, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, Coca-Cola, and the Houston Clinic. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Calvary ended up getting the point off that timeout. Battling Gaps on to serve. Sluter saves it. Gutierrez, Gaps with a bump. Smithwick, Abby Holder. Good block. Brookstone with a point. Gutierrez on to serve. Smithwick. Steffens. Abigail Steffens gives Calvary a point. Calvary trying to go up 2-0 here in the second set. Brookstone trying to tie it up at 1. Steffens on to serve. The bump by Gutierrez. Sluter with a bump. Fega. That was deflected on that front line. Smithwick, Steffens. That's in. Calvary point. And Steffen's going to continue serving. And that's going to be out of bounds. Brookstone 3 points away from taking set number 2 and tying it up at 1 apiece. Priscilla Faga on to serve. Bump by Blake. Holder protecting the net. That's net interference on Brookstone. Calvary gets the point. And now the lone senior for the Lady Knights, Aiden Steffens. Gutierrez. Galligan gives Brookstone the point. Didn't have to slam it, just tap it over. And that's a strategy to try to get it over that front line. It's now 23-19. By the way, Calvary's going to be on the road for a while. Their next home game is not going to be until September 20th. They will be in town on September 18th. They will be taking on Pacelli at the Land. Gaff with a bump. Smithwick. Holder. Bump there by Hollingsworth. And that's going to be a point for Brookstone. As that goes out of bounds off the deflection. Set point coming up, and Virginia Hollingsworth is going to be on to serve, but before that, we will take a timeout. I want to remind everybody that this is the Masterwall Calvary Game of the Week, brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, the Houston Clinic, Kinetic Credit Union, and Coca-Cola. So looking at Calvary's next games, they will be on the road taking on Sherwood Christian Academy on September the 5th. That's actually tomorrow. They are going to be down in Albany. And then up in Locust Grove on the 9th of September taking on Strong Rock. Just up I-185 taking on LaGrange Academy. And then back in Columbus taking on Pacelli on the 18th of September. Smithwick trying to save it. Point, Brookstone. They take set number 2. Brookstone wins set number 2 to tie it up at 1 apiece. They win it 25-19. That means we are guaranteed to play 4 sets. Get ready for set number 3. That's coming up here on the Masterwall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Are you looking for a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC truck and a great deal? Check them out side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
And welcome back to Calvary Christian, right here on Steve Smithwick Court. It's Brookstone Calvary tied up at 1, getting ready for set number 3 in this volleyball match between the number 2 Brookstone Cougars in our volleyball rankings, taking on the number 3 Calvary Knights. And when the rankings in the GIAA come out, we're expecting that these two teams will be at the top of the list, right there with Pacelli. Don't forget that the GIAA Volleyball Championships will be at Shorter University this year, October the 10th and the 11th. And you can watch those games on GIAA.tv or come up to Shorter University and check out any one of these teams that can make it there. The semifinals will actually be Friday on October the 10th. Last year, it was Brookstone and Pacelli in the 4A championship. Calvary lost in the first round to the Kings Academy. They're hoping to try to get further in the postseason as they enter their second season in the GIAA. Evangeline Gutierrez on to serve for Brookstone here in the third set. And we're ready to go. Gaps. Smithwick with a bump. There's a block, and that hit the net. Hit the net twice, and the ref says point Brookstone. Trying to get an explanation on that, so we could be informed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the GIAA website just to pull out the rule book, as we're gonna have a discussion among the judges. I think the call is gonna stand. They're trying to say, okay, the next time this happens, we know the reason why we're calling it this way is because it's in the rule book. And of course, the judges stopped the play, so there's really nothing they could do about it. Or is there? Well, I heard some cheers from the Calvary fans. All right, here we go. Gutierrez on to serve. They're actually taking the point off the board, so nobody got a point. I'm going to have to, it's now 0-0. Vega hitting it with one hand. That was illegal. That was legal. Deflection, point Calvary. Yeah. Oh, hey, Brookstone got the point. There was like a discussion amongst the refs. Now they're saying that Brookstone got the point. Well, that's a little bit of craziness here in the third set. Had points taken off the board, thought Calvary got a point, and then Brookstone ended up getting the point. Gutierrez, gaps with a bump. Smithwick. Steffens slams it. The dig there by Gutierrez. Galligan, back line there by Blake. Slamming it. And point Brookstone. That was way out of bounds. Gutierrez will continue serving. Line drive there by Gaps. Smithwick. Burleson. Galligan trying to get it. McPherson. Smithwick. And net interference gives the point to Brookstone. Brookstone coming out strong here in this third set. Gutierrez, line drive, serve, Gaps. That was very interesting, as that actually hit the back of Smithwick's head, but actually went over on Brookstone's side. They played on, but Brookstone does get the point. I mean, we've seen some very unique plays in volleyball. Last year we saw a player kick the ball over. And if it's not intentional, it's an illegal hit. Getting it over, it's Hollinsworth. Smithwick slamming it is Burleson. Steffens with a bump. Smithwick sets. Steffens. Galligan trying to save it. Fega bumps it behind her head. Steffens slams it right where Brookstone isn't. And Calvary gets their first point of set number 3. And here comes the libero. That would be Madeline Gaps. Line drive, a bump. Sluter with a bump. Hollingsworth. Gaps with a bump. Steffens gets it over. Galligan bumps. Gutierrez got to get it over, and they do. That was right on the line. No, that's a point to Calvary. That was not on the line. You know, from this angle, it looked like it was on the line. Virginia Hollingsworth was trying to get it over. Gaps to serve. Oh, nice dig by Sluter. Gutierrez sets. Fega. Point Brookstone. Fega slams it down. And now Fega on to serve. Priscilla Fager was the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game against Strong Rock on Tuesday. Smithwick. Holder. Sluter on the bump. Nice block. Holder plays it on. Smithwick. Steffens. Galligan. Slamming it. Carson Galligan. Another kill to add to the stat sheet. It's 6-2 now, not 6-3. Vega switch sides of the court. Steffens with a bump. Smithwick. Steffens deflected. Point Calvary. This third set is crucial because whoever goes up 2-1 means the opposing team is going to face elimination. That puts all the pressure on that team. And that hits the net. Brookstone gets the point. You're watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Glad to be here on this Thursday night. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. Whitehead on the serve. Steffens with a bump. Smithwick. Steffens. How about Aiden Steffens getting the point for Calvary? It's now 7-4. And Aiden Steffens going to be on to serve. And Brookstone ends up getting the point. On to serve is Virginia Hollingsworth. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick. Holder. That was out of bounds. Brookstone up 9-4 here in the third set. Hollingsworth. Tipped. Carson Galligan gives Brookstone the point. She jumped up and just slammed it down. Nice dig. Galligan another point. And that's a tough play when it's close to the net like that. Carson Galligan's just the taller player. Oh, what an ace. Virginia Hollingsworth gives Brookstone the 12-4 lead. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one too. Brookstone out in front 12-4 here in the third set. Back after this as you're watching the Master Ball Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Welcome back to Calvary Christian. Steve Smithwick court. Brookstone leading Calvary here in the third set, 12-4. Virginia Hollingsworth still serving. Bump there by Wynn. Taking a backspin. McPherson with a bump. Carson Galligan slams it. That hits the rafters. It's playable. Holder gets it over. McPherson deflected. Smithwick. Steffens gives Calvary the point. What a play there by Abigail Steffens. The serve goes back to the Knights. And Abby Holder. Sluter with a bump. Trying to dig that one, and that goes, sails past the bench. Calvary with another point. A crucial third set with both teams splitting the first two sets. Sluter with a bump, Gutierrez sets. Galligan. That's out of bounds. 3 straight points for Calvary. They try to make their comeback here in the third set. Holder. Trying to set it. Galligan. Good job there by Steffens. Burleson. Burleson gives Calvary a point. That's 4 straight points. As they keep the momentum going. Abby Holder. Galligan with a bump. Sluter with a bump. Galligan's got to get it over, and that is just too high and too far. Sometimes when you hit it twice and you got to get it over that third time, a little too much power on that one by Carson Galligan. Hargrove, Gutierrez, Galligan trying to redeem herself, and she does. A very valuable point for Carson Galligan. Makes it 13-9. And Carson Galligan on to serve. Line drive coming in. Steffens, Smithwick, up and over is Loudermilk. McPherson, gaps with a bump. Smithwick, Loudermilk, Sluter with a bump. Point Calvary, there was net interference by Brookstone. And now Olivia Smithwick on to serve. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez. Vega gets the point. Brookstone leads by 4. Priscilla Vega with the slam, and now the libero and Sluter getting ready to serve for the Cougars. The bump. Smithwick slams it. Steffens, but too far and out of bounds, and Brookstone. But wait a second, they're changing the call. That actually was on the line, and Calvary, for the time being, does get the point. They're going to make their case. That's why they have the corner judge. But they don't have the only angle. You got a total of 4 judges. What's going to be the call? That's going to be a point for Calvary. And on to serve is Josie Blake. And line drive coming in, Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez, McPherson gets it over. Illegal hit, and the point goes to Calvary. Calvary 14-1 on the season. Their only loss was to Pacelli. Brookstone 14-4. Played a pretty tough schedule, though. Ferdinand, Gutierrez slamming it as Steffens, and Gutierrez trying to save it as Ferdinand. Getting it over was Waltrip. Tipping it over. Vega trying to save it. She cannot. And Calvary has gone on a little bit of a streak here. They trail by 1. Josie Blake going to keep the momentum going for Calvary. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Vega on the line. Point Brookstone. Priscilla Vega has had a couple of slams here in this set. And now Evangeline Gutierrez on to serve. It's 15-13. The bump by Steffens. Smithwick gaps, bumps, and gets it over. Gutierrez sets. Vega slams it down. Priscilla Vega with their 3rd kill this set gives Brookstone a 3-point lead. And the freshman, Evangeline Gutierrez, continuing to serve. Bump by Steffens. Gaps. Abigail Steffens. Good dig there by Gutierrez. Gaps. Steffens. Cannot control it. Calvary with the point. She took a bad angle off Vega's arm. And now the libero, Madeline Gaps, will serve for Calvary. Trailing 16-14 here in the 3rd set. Sluter with a bump, Gutierrez. Vega's got to get it over, and she does. Abby Holder, deflected by Brookstone, point Calvary. When they needed a point, Abby Holder was able to slam that one down. And we got ourselves a timeout. Brookstone leading by 1 here in the 3rd set as you're watching the Master Wall. Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And welcome back to Calvary here at Steve Smithwick Court. How's everybody doing? Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast. Brookstone leading Calvary 16-15. Madeline Gaps on to serve for the Knights. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Vega. Good dig there by Gaps. Slamming it. What a dig there by Steffens, but that does not matter. It's going to be a point for Brookstone. The refs are saying that it was tipped. And Priscilla Fega on to serve. That hit the net. It counts. And that's going to be a point for Brookstone. It's now 18-15. And an ace for Priscilla Fega. And Fega's going to switch sides of the court. Caps with a bump. Steffens gives Calvary the point. She slammed it hard and it took a deflection. Calvary gets the serve. See if they could try to make a comeback here in the third set. Abigail Steffens. Sluter with a bump. Hargrove with a bump. Got to get it over. Blocked by Holder. And a big point for the Lady Knights. It's now 19-17. The anticipation with that block as Carson Gallagher was trying to slam it. Abigail Holder had other plans. Steffens. The bump by Hargrove. Gutierrez. Bump. Bump by Galligan. Carson Galligan slamming it out of bounds. Calvary trails by 1. This is definitely a game of inches. Could have easily been in bounds, but the judge makes the call. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez sets. Galligan. And that's just finesse to try to get the point, knowing you don't have to hit it hard. You just got to get the point, and Galligan switches it up and just taps it over. Whitehead to serve. Gaps. Holder. Tipped. Point. Calvary. We're in for a treat. I think that this volleyball match has got the capability of going 5 sets. No question about it. These two teams are evenly matched. Aiden Steffens on to serve, and Brookstone lets that one go. Virginia Hollingsworth is going to serve for Brookstone. The line drive and a bump by Steffens. Smithwick, Abby Holder gets it over. The bump by Sluter. Gutierrez, Galligan. Good job there. Good recovery there by Wynn. Loudermilk, Sluter, Galligan tips it, gets the point. Hollingsworth as we'll take a timeout. It's 22-19, Brookstone on top here in the third set. You're watching the Masterwall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And welcome back. Score is 22-19, Brookstone on top here in the third set. Calvary won the first set 25-13. Brookstone ended up taking set number 2, 25-19, I believe. Gonna confirm that. Virginia Hollingsworth on to serve. And that almost was a basket. Loudermilk. Galligan slamming it into the net, and she definitely wanted that one back. But Calvary does come up with a point. It's now 22-20. And Abby Holder on to serve. Hargrove, they cannot get to it. Calvary pulls within 1 here in the third set. At times like this, you feel that the home crowd can go into your favor. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez, Galligan. Too high, too far. We're all knotted up at 22 apiece. Looking at Brookstone's upcoming schedule, they will host Calvary on September 25th at Brookstone. Be the rematch. Galligan. And that's why she's called the closer. Carson Galligan gives Brookstone a 1-point lead. And Carson Galligan on to serve. Gaps with a bump. And that will be an ace for Carson Galligan. Set point coming up for Brookstone. They are 1 point away from taking a 2-1 lead here in this volleyball match. And it hits the net. Calvary stays alive. Now they've got to at least get 26. With Brookstone leading 24-23. Smithwick on to serve. Sluter with a bump. Gutierrez. Vega. Block, and Calvary gets the point. We are definitely going to play to 26 here in set number 3. You can hear the crowd as they are fired up. You talk about the momentum shifting here at Calvary. Nice dig. Galligan gets it over. Steffens gets it over. Good dig there by Fernandez. Carson Galligan on the line. Point Brookstone. She plays with ice water in her veins. Brookstone's got set point. They lead 25-24. And Sluter on to serve. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick getting it over. That's going to be a point for Calvary. An illegal hit. And we are going to play to 27 here in this third set. A very important set for both teams to go up 2-1 would be huge. And now Josie Blake on to serve. Fernandez, Gutierrez, Vega slams it. Brookstone coming up with a point. And we're back to set point. They're going to take a timeout? No, they're not. It all comes down to the freshman here in this third set. Evangeline Gutierrez, set point. Brookstone leading 26-25. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick. And that was an illegal touch on the net. Calvary gets the point. And we are going to play to 28. This might be the most exciting set I've ever called in volleyball. Both teams want it. both teams want to go up 2-1. Madeline Gaps going to be on to serve. $26 here in the third set. Now you got to play to 28. Gaps. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez. Vega tips it. Saves it. Steffens. Steffens gets the point. And now Calvary's got set point. What placement by Abigail Steffens on that shot. And Coach Halverson is having a discussion with the refs, trying to figure out what the call is here. And the refs are going to have a discussion as well. I mean, this place is lively. You got Brookstone fans and Calvary fans. And the point does go to Calvary. Set point. Madeline Gaps on to serve. Brookstone's been here before. If there's a team that knows how to rally, it's definitely Brookstone. We got a timeout. Calvary leading in the third set, 27-26 over Brookstone. You're watching the Master Wall Game of the Week for Calvary Christian. Back after this on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And welcome back to Calvary Christian School. Steve Smithwick Court. Calvary's got set point. Madeline Gaps, the libero, on to serve. Trying to give her team a 2-1 lead here in this volleyball match. Gaps, Vega with the bump. Gutierrez, Galligan. Carson Galligan gets a big point, and Brookstone ties it at 27. Vega on to serve. Steffens with a bump. Smithwick. Abigail Steffens. Got to keep it in play, and they do. Carson Galligan. Trying to go for the dig was Blake, but Carson Galligan gives Brookstone a point. They were facing elimination in this set, and they now lead 28-27. It is set point coming up for Brookstone. Vega. Nice dig there by Steffens. Steffens cannot get it over. Brookstone takes set number 3. They take set number 3. By a final score of 29-27. They take a 2-1 series lead in a best of 5. We're going to step aside. Get ready for set number 4 coming up as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
And we are back. We're ready for set number 4. It's the Master Walk Calvary game of the week, and joining me is Thrift Behringer.
Big Rich, you may have the volleyball game of the year. Excellent calls by you so far. What a set between Brookstone and Calvary right there. I came, I think, when it was 14-13 when I walked in the gym, and I loved every second of that. And if you don't enjoy volleyball, man, there's something wrong with you. If that didn't get your blood up and get you motivated and energy with the performance by both teams right now, I've been thoroughly excited. You've done a great job, Rich.
Well, I knew this could possibly be the longest volleyball game that I will call in the history of volleyball matches. I'm used to calling a game that maybe lasts about an hour. This could possibly go 2 hours. Calvary's down 2-1, but Calvary took the first set 25-23. Brookstone ended up taking the next 2 sets, so if Calvary wants to stay alive in this one, they're going to have to take set number 4. We start at a timeout. We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take another commercial break here on the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though
Real.
And we are back. How is everybody doing? Well, let's get ready for set number 4, shall we? What an incredible, just incredible play by Brookstone as they faced set point. They faced elimination. They were able to rally to take set 3. Now Madeline Gap's on to serve for the Knights. Well, this has definitely been the longest volleyball game in my broadcasting career. We still have another set to go. Madeline Gap's on to serve. All right, here we go. Gaps on to serve. Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez with a bump. Waltrip getting it over. Good save there by Holder. Steffens deflected. Fega. That's on the line. Point Brookstone. Good placement on that one by Priscilla Fega. And now the freshman, Evangeline Gutierrez, on to serve. And that's going to be an ace for Gutierrez.
I tell you what, you know, in the rankings, obviously we got Brookstone number 2, Richard, but I'll tell you, for Calvary, who hasn't never played the toughest schedule as Brookstone and Pacelli have, but this would be a major win for Coach Kendra if her Knights can able to come back from being down 2-1.
How about that? Back-to-back aces for the freshman, Evangeline Gutierrez.
I've been really impressed with Carson Galligan. She's been sensational, Richard.
Absolutely. She has been the closer because when they had their backs against the wall in that 3rd set,
they dialed her number, Rich.
That's out of bounds. Calvary gets a very well-needed point if they want to try to get back in this one. They're facing elimination. Their backs are against the wall in this 4th set. And the leading kills per set, Abigail Steffens.
We're sorry, guys. We had a. As soon as I get here, Richard was doing everything great, and then I come to help him with a camera, and it wants to freeze on me. That's
yeah, it
just my
froze on
love,
us.
Rich.
It's all right. 3-2 is your score. Gutierrez. That's 3 straight points for Calvary.
How about the trash talking between both teams? The coaches have literally yelled out roars at each other every time their team gets a point. This is what rivalry in high school sports is all about, Richard.
Galligan with a bump. Gutierrez sets it. Carson Galligan. How about Carson Galligan from the back line getting a point? She's done that a couple of times
I don't
today.
think there's a spot on that court, Richard, that she can't spike it and literally place the ball wherever she wants.
Well, here comes another heavy hitter for Brookstone.
She's sensational too.
Priscilla Fega.
I saw her spike one, Richard. I was like, wow, watch out.
And Priscilla Fega with an ace. Brookstone's got a lot of momentum coming back from that, losing that first set, to win set number 2 and to rally when they were down in that third set. Vega, Smithwick, gaps with a bump. Steffens, Sluter, Gutierrez. And that's going to be deflected off Calvary. That's going to be a point for Brookstone.
So remember, Lee Halverson, the coach at Brookstone, in his second stint at Brookstone, was also the coach at Calvary once before in his career.
Got that Calvary-Brookstone connection.
Yeah, there we go.
Vega, and that hits the net, and Calvary gets the point.
Calvary needed that one desperately. Down 2-1. You don't want to get too far behind.
And the lone senior for the Calvary Lady Knights is Aiden Steffens. She'll be on to serve. Calvary under the tutelage of first-year coach Kendra Hawthorne. Gutierrez sets. Galligan. You know, when Carson Galligan's at the front of the net, that's hard to stop. That's coming at you 100 miles an hour.
What did they say on the movie Taken? Good luck.
Good luck.
If you're up there with her and she gets a good set, good luck.
Well, I've come up, after the Strong Rock game on Tuesday, I came up with a nickname for Carson Galligan.
Let me hear it.
The closer.
I love it.
Hollingsworth gaps with a bump. It gets over. And Carson Galligan will not be denied.
She's trying to close this one out. What a set and what a spike by Galligan.
But that was just a perfect setup. That was like just a softball.
We dropped our rankings, Richard. I don't know if you've talked about that. And
oh, yeah, I have.
Galligan and Menifee, those are the 2 best players I've seen
no
so
question
far
about it.
in this season.
Hollingsworth, Steffens with a bump. Smithwick, Abby Holder. Good block there by McPherson. Good block by Galligan.
She's dominating right now, Richard.
Yeah.
She's literally said, ladies, hop on. I'll take us for a ride. And
by the way,
look at Coach Halverson fired up.
Wow.
Screaming.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2. Brookstone leads in the 4th set, 9-4 as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And we are back here at Calvary. Steve Smithwick court, Richard Holdridge, Thrip Behringer. Brookstone trying to take control here in set number 4. The senior, Virginia Hollingsworth, on to serve. And that's going to be an ace for Hollingsworth. Thrip, you got a sense that Brookstone's, all the momentum has shifted to Brookstone. If you're wondering when the rematch is, you guessed it, September 25th. I had that one on the calendar. Smithwick. Lauermel gets it over. Chain. Good bump there by Wynn. Gaps could not get it over, and Brookstone gets another point. Hollingsworth going to continue to serve. Steffens. Gaps. Lauermel with the kill. how about Olivia Loudermilk, the sophomore? Kind of gets that momentum back to Calvary. And now on to serve is Abby Holder. Brookstone, the runner-up in the GIAA last year. Calvary lost in the first round to the Kings Academy. First year in the GIAA. Carson Galligan, that was a little too far. Yeah, and the one thing about Carson Galligan, she's got a fastball. But sometimes it can work to her disadvantage because Calvary is a smart team. They'll just let it go. Gutierrez. And how about Whitehead with the slam that gives Brookstone a 12-6 lead. And on to serve is Whitney Whitehead, another senior for Coach Lee Halverson and the Brookstone Cougars. Hits the net, still playable. Athens Burleson gets it over. Gutierrez, Galligan. How about Carson Galligan? She doesn't have to hit it hard. All she has to do is tap it over that front line. It gives Brookstone a 13-6 lead. As Whitney Whitehead will continue the momentum on the serve. Smithwick, you got to get it over, and they do. And how about a job there by Abigail Steffens? It's now 13-7. And Olivia Smithwick on the serve. Hits the net. Brookstone 14-4 on the season, 1-0 in region play. Calvary 14-1 on the season, 1-1 in region play. And that hits the net. Calvary comes up with a point. By the way, Brookstone's next game is going to be at the Land, September the 9th. Brookstone Pacelli. And you know Thrift will have that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Rematch of the GIAA State Championship.
Cannot wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, Calvary hosts Glenwood on Monday, Big Rich. That should be
Big
a lot
host on Monday?
Yes, yeah, they got changed.
They got
September
changed.
22nd
Okay.
was originally when they were going to play. It's now moved to the 8th this upcoming Monday.
There we go, Smithwick. Steffens, what a block by McPherson. I tell you, when McPherson's on that front line, all she's got to do is jump up and just slam it down. Brookstone leading 15-8. The libero and Sluter on to serve.
Sluter.
Gaps with a bump. Smithwick sets. Steffens. Hargrove. Fega, back line. Good bump there by Josie Blake. Slamming it down was Burleson.
Wow!
Deflected by Calvary. So it goes out of play, but it's going to be a point for Brookstone.
Wow.
And Ann Sluter continuing the hot hand for Brookstone. Gaps with a bump. Smithwick sets. And then how about that play by Abigail Steffens?
Steffens with a huge hit. They needed that point desperately, Rich.
Yeah, if Calvary wants to come back in this game, they're going to have to get big plays from Abigail Steffens and Abby Holder. Those are your top players that have the leading kills per set. It's Gaps. The bump by Hargrove. Gutierrez sets. McPherson. That's on the line. That's a point for Brookstone. Got some subs coming in. Whitney Whitehead or Fernandez checks out. Whitney Whitehead going to check back in, and now
Whitehead.
Gutierrez back to serve. It is
By the way,
17-9.
Glenwood is up on set one against rivalry Scott. But right now it's all Brookstone in this fourth set, Rich.
Yeah, they have felt it after that comeback in the third set. We got a timeout. We'll take one, too, as you're watching the Master Wall Calvary Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And welcome back. It's Thrift Manager. It's Richard Holdridge. Brookstone with the serve, leading 18-9. And an ace for Gutierrez. It's now 19-9. Gutierrez, that one's out of bounds. Score is 19-10. Brookstone has been playing with their backs against the wall after dropping the first set, and it was an epic set, 25-23. It was going back and forth. But to win that third set, 29-27, it was incredible. Steffens with a bump. Aiden Steffens slams it and gives Calvary the point. And in that third set, you could feel the momentum shifting to Calvary because they had on two different occasions set point. Steffens, Sluter, Gutierrez, that hits the net, and Whitney Whitehead wanted that one back. It's 19-12.
Calvary mounting a comeback here, Rich.
They're trying to come back.
Rich.
This is
come
the
back.
elimination set for Calvary. Steffens, Sluter with the bump. Gutierrez. Sluter gets it over. Bump by Steffens. Holder. Bump by Gutierrez. Whitehead. Smithwick. Bump by Steffens. Gutierrez. Whitehead gets it over. Good position. And they saved it. Good save there by Brookstone. Holder gets it over. Pretty good rally we got here. Oh, what a play there by Priscilla Vega. You know, she was the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game in the Strong Rock game.
Wow.
She's having her and Carson Galligan. That's hard to decide. They have been incredible. But Calvary not done yet. That got deflected. That's going to be Brookstone point. I thought that got deflected. It looks like Brookstone did not touch it. It's 21-12. They are 4 points away from getting the road victory. Priscilla Vega gaps with a bump. Smithwick, Steffens. Good recovery there by Brookstone, and the slam by Carson Galligan is out of play. And Carson Galligan says, my bad. Calvary survives, and they get the point back, and they get the serve. And Aiden Steffens on to serve for the Knights. Chain. Whitehead could not get it over. Calvary starting to mount their comeback.
What are you saying if you're Coach Kendra, Rich?
Just to keep your focus. Don't give Brookstone any easy ones.
What's the set challenge you're calling?
You've got to set it up. Smithwick to set it. Abigail Steffens or Abby Holder. Got to find a way to spike it. Carson Galligan, and that's why Carson Galligan does Carson Galligan things. It's 22-14, Brookstone. witnessing one of the best volleyball players in the Chattahoochee Valley.
You call her the closer.
The closer.
I call it the dominator.
The dominator. I love it. Virginia Hollingsworth on to serve. And that hits the net. Calvary gets the point. Calvary needed something like that. They needed the momentum to shift back to them. Their backs are against the wall in this fourth set. And Abby Holder on to serve. The bump by Chain. Gutierrez sets. Galligan. Oh, right place, right time. But Galligan comes up with a slam.
So she got her own ricochet. And
Taylor Wynn was right there.
Down.
There was nothing Taylor Wynn could do, but it was right. I don't think she intended to bump it. But it goes back. The ricochet goes back to Carson Galligan, and she slams it. It's 23-15. Trying to stay. Oh, nice dig there by Loudermilk, but Brookstone gets the point.
They're a point away, Rich.
Match point coming up for the Cougars. Whitney Whitehead will do the honors.
Look at Coach Alverson.
For Brookstone.
Fired up the crowd.
Look, the Brookstone fans are on their feet. Whitehead to serve. The bump. Gaps gets it over. Gutierrez. McPherson. Brookstone wins. The Brookstone Cougars defeat the Calvary Knights in 4 sets. After dropping the first set 25-23, they win 3 straight sets. And Thrift, I've already made the decision. It was a team effort, but there's no doubt about it that the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands player of the game is Carson Galligan.
There's no doubt, man. She literally said, girls, let's win this game. Get on my back. And she did that. But not going to take credit away from how great the team played. But Galligan really took over there at the end, and she showed why her and Menifee are going 1A, 1B.
Oh, they're going toe-to-toe.
And guess what? We're going to have Brookstone Pacelli eventually facing off here in the next week
Next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I'm already fired up about it.
I'm fired up about that. I'm fired up about the rematch. These two teams, September 25th at Brookstone. Sign me up for that one. This is a great volleyball match by two teams that are going to make deep runs in the state playoffs. Calvary should not be discouraged about this. They were facing a very talented Brookstone team. Calvary gave it their all, but Brookstone were able to come out on top. What a win. They go to 15-4. Calvary falls to 14-2. They go 1-1 in region play. Brookstone is now 2-0 in region play. All right, so for Thrift Behringer, I'm Richard Holdridge signing off on the broadcast. Another Master Walk Calvary Game of the Week. Hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you next time here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.